Hey guys, new development with my Strat project, Renee. Um, this one kind of has me quite torn because it's well, technically you could call it a failure of product, in my opinion, but this one doesn't really give me too many options as a fix. So, never in my entire time playing guitar have I ever had the truss rod bolt, the head where the Allen key fits, actually strip out. Um, that being said, in short, I can no longer adjust the truss rod on my Strat. The Allen key slot is stripped. And looking at it down the hole, it doesn't look like the hole drilled is big enough to just simply unscrew the nut off of the truss rod and slip in a new one. So, my first thought was, get a drill bit, drill out that hole a little bit larger so I can unscrew the one that's on the truss rod currently and then replace it with a better quality one. But then I realized, you know what, if I do that, then I'm severely going to mar up the neck on my Strat and just a whole bunch of other work I don't want to have to do. So, option two, and albeit the more expensive option, and probably the more correct one, would be to save up money and buy a new Squire or Fender replacement neck. And the Fender company literally makes these replacement necks to just bolt right in, no hassle. But I don't have $200 to $300, sometimes even $400 and higher, to buy a new neck. So here's where option number three comes in. Right here in my hands, I have an old neck, never had a name on it. Quite honestly, I bought the guitar and it was a Strat copy. I bought it at Our Music Supply in Brigham City before they closed down. It was a fairly good playing guitar. Right out of the go, it however did have rough frets from, the classic not finishing the final step, but the fret ends were nice and smooth. However, the frets had a little bit of grit to them when you would bend the notes. So here it is, more than 10 years after I had that guitar. I found the neck recently, and it's a fairly nice neck. Yes, it's been on my Strat before, so this neck has been on Renee. That's how I know this neck will do. The only thing I'm not crazy about is losing the logo on the headstock, which, if this ends up being the permanent neck, I'm going to just have burned into the wood somehow, Renee, the name of my guitar. I have taken the time to polish every single fret on this neck. Now, in my youth, I stupidly put polyurethane on the fretboard, trying to simulate the smoothness of a lacquered maple fingerboard. And, well, wasn't the best thought out plan in the world. But it's a good solid neck, decent quality. You cannot feel any of the fretwork on the edges. I have literally taken a sanding block on this neck for hours to thin out the neck, and I think tomorrow I'm going to pull out the Black & Decker palm sander that you plug into a wall and some pretty rough grit sandpaper, and I'm going to just slim out the profile of the neck a little bit. I like them thin this way, wide this way. Like my Jackson Kelly or the Jackson KE3 I had in my first guitar video. It had a pretty wide neck, but it was narrow this way. Now, this is a larger neck profile than Renee currently has. It's a wider fretboard. All the frets are lined up perfectly, however. It's a 25.5 scale length, so this should, in theory, be a good replacement for the neck that I have on there. I'm just trying to thin out the neck a little bit more to where it matches the profile of the current neck on it. But in short, the next time I change my strings, this is going to be the neck on my Stratocaster now. And if I'm completely honest, aside from the rough fret bar feel when you bend the note, you can feel it kind of gritty on the string. It's something a guitar player would notice. It's very subtle, but if you're experienced enough on the guitar, you know the difference between roughly done frets and superb fretwork. I mean, I have literally, you can't really see that very well, but I literally sat here for over an hour doing nothing but buffing these frets out. And I even used a Dremel tool that I have with a felt wheel on the end of it and toothpaste, taping off every single part of the wood and then toothpaste buffing each fret. And let me tell you, when you don't have metal polish, toothpaste is a wonderful polish. It has to have the abrasive in it though. Aside from that, I gotta say, these frets are done nicer on the edges than most Squire guitars I've ever played. So, this is gonna be a good neck. However, it's not the Squire neck. That's my only issue with it. But to stay true to what I say in a lot of my videos, it doesn't have to be a super expensive guitar to be a good guitar. I'm just kind of ticked that the perfect neck on my Strat is no longer adjustable. So, and I want to go back down to 10 gauge strings from what I currently play, which is 11 to 48 power slinkies. With my truss rod broken or stripped out, I can no longer go down to a lighter string. I'd have to do a neck adjustment. So, I either stick with 11s or change the neck, and I vote change the neck. So, anyway, that's gonna be it for this update. More updates to come, I guess you'd say, because I am going to document this as I go and hopefully help some guitar noobs, for lack of a better way to put it, have some better know-how in upgrading their guitars and swapping out parts. So, hopefully I can help. Anyway, have a good night, guys. God bless you. You're important in this world, and you are loved. See ya.